Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and so many others today are as commonplace as rotary telephones and the phone book were to people 40 years ago when it comes to communication. Social media allows all to have a voice and an opinion, which makes connecting with friends, colleagues, and strangers easier than ever before in the history of mankind. It seems like every day a new social media platform is being created and unleashed. However, as Reddit, Pinterest, Twitch, even business sites like LinkedIn become part of everyday life, the entire idea of social media had to begin somewhere. And that's what we're going to look at now as we go way, way back in the day to the dawn of social media. The concept of social media had been forming as early as 1969 with the creation of ARPANET through the government agency Advanced Research Projects Agency. That's the ARPA and ARPANET. It was not until 1991, though, that the internet itself became publicly available. On August 7th, 1991, Tim Berners-Lee, a graduate of Oxford University, first made public his World Wide Web that he had invented in 1989. Although America Online became an icon of early internet availability, it was actually CompuServe that was the first major commercial internet provider in the United States. It was founded in 1969 and remained a major part of the early World Wide Web revolution with AOL and Prodigy. Prodigy shut down in 1999, while CompuServe was purchased by America Online in 1998. Most people, myself included, who got their starts on the internet in the mid-1990s remember the classic dial-up modem noise as AOL loaded, revealing several happy, faceless figures when the connection was complete. As one of 5 kids that were between the ages of 11 and 18 when we got our first gateway computer and internet in late 95, early 1996, it was a battle for screen time and a battle to use the telephone which the computer modem was connected to. I spoke a little bit about this on the Internet in the 1990s segment of the podcast a few weeks ago, but I also remember the mass of free trial CD-ROMs allowing people to go online without commitment. It began with a partnership with Blockbuster Video and exploded thereafter. While they definitely helped bring AOL to the masses, the former chief marketing officer of AOL, Jan Brandt, said in 2015 that the company spent more than $300 million on those free trials. The discs were 500, 750, or 1,000 hours and opened up the mid-1990s to more than just a passing fad, which is what some people thought the internet was going to be back then. Kids and adults alike were given the keys to things like chat rooms, where you could meet people from all over the world. Granted, many of us created wacky screen names for inside the rooms for AIM, which was AOL Instant Messenger, ICQ, and others. Research for school or pleasure became instantly easier with the advent of the search engine. And before Google became the big boss, there were others like Lycos, Ask Jeeves, Excite, and Yahoo. As research and communication got easier, a new outlet for people in the internet age came about, and that was social media. It began as a cross between a biography, a bedroom wall, and a school locker. These were sites that were a way to express your individuality while also coming together with like-minded individuals. The first true social media site as we'd come to know it today was born in 1997. It was 6degrees.com. Founded by New Yorker Andrew Weinreich, it was the originator when it came to social media. Profiles, friends lists, school affiliations, these were all rolled into one with 6 degrees. And the name was a play on the 6 degrees of separation theory of Frigyes Karinthy in 1929. Weinreich even received the first patent for social media. Though not fully understood at the time, like most of the internet, the idea of social media was groundbreaking. The only problem was the timing. In 1997, the internet was not nearly as widely available as it is in 2022. Simple things by today's standards, like uploading photos, was way more difficult as digital cameras weren't common back then. So you'd have needed a scanner to scan in your photos. Man, that must have been rough. Ironically, despite that, more than 1 million people signed up on 6 Degrees, yet many of those profiles would remain inactive, as some were likely created through free AOL trials that then went by the wayside. 6 Degrees was sold to YouthStream Media Networks in 1999 for $125 million and closed in 2000. It has been relaunched since, but nowhere near the numbers it had before. After the birth of social media and the demise of 6 Degrees, the landscape was ripe for a new leader, and that came in 2002 with the creation of Friendster. It was intended to be only a dating site, but its popularity soared with things like status updates and connecting with friends of friends of friends. Launching in March 2002 and created by Jonathan Abrams and Peter Chin, it took the 6 Degrees concept to the next level. And it was this site that was my own personal introduction to social media. I was on Friendster. The swell of new profiles caused major problems for the site performance-wise, and that made its reign at the top of social media very brief. These problems were the reason that I and many others migrated to what most would remember as the first giant of social media, and that was MySpace. Coming into existence in August 2003, MySpace was different in that it had public profiles, or at least profile pictures, differing from Friendster being private for registered users, albeit safer in the same vein. MySpacers fondly remember creating a profile and immediately having Tom as their friend. Do you remember Tom if you were on MySpace? I think I kept him as a friend for a while, but I'm sure many deleted him quickly, like that free album that YouTube put on your iTunes in 2014, which I enjoyed, but I could see not wanting to have that if you're not a fan. So Tom, last name Anderson, was one of the creators of the site that included music capabilities for your profile, as well as band pages, and the site was a monster. In 2007, the site was valued at $12 billion. By 2005, MySpace had 25 million users. Known as a place for friends, MySpace having public profiles did allow you the ability to check out anyone you wanted, to which some certainly did in a nefarious way. Although the site's parent company, being sold to News Corp in 2005, did not immediately start a downward trend, it definitely made the site feel more corporate than social. Increasing problems with sketchy people prowling MySpace, coupled with an increase in corporate policies from News Corp, eventually spelled the end of MySpace's reign. In April 2008, a new #1 social media site was crowned. Facebook had originally been launched by Mark Zuckerberg in 2004 and began a slow, steady climb to the top. I remember joining in spring of 2007, and any status updates it would start with so-and-so, like your name is ... and you would just put like what you were doing. Now when my Facebook memories come up from 2007, 2008, they're just choppy bits of thoughts. For example, a memory from August 2007 just said, done. It's very important stuff I was sharing that I felt the world needed to hear. As MySpace faded, other sites came along, including YouTube and LinkedIn, which was the first business networking site that launched in May 2003. Facebook has been the king for over a decade, with everyone from ages 8 to 80 seemingly having a profile. I know that it had more than 1.6 billion users in 2020. But the question is, how much longer will it remain at the top? I remember when I thought MySpace would be the trendsetter forever, and it's actually still online today, but it's completely different. It is way more of a corporate shill site, like what we had thought it was becoming. Will there be another new kid on the block like TikTok, or another yet unknown social media app that will become the next big thing? Who knows? Probably likely. What was your introduction to the internet, though, and social media? Like I said, I did the internet in the 90s segment on the podcast a few weeks ago. I'm sure I'll do a part 2 of that, but talking about the beginnings of social media, it's a trip down memory lane that I didn't realize it was that old. When you realize it's 25 years, a quarter century ago that the first social media site came around. Did you have a 6 Degrees account? I'd never heard of them till I did the research for this segment. But what's your favorite social media platform? I mean, mine honestly is Instagram. I love photography, but drop me a line. Let me know your introduction to social media, what your favorite site was, what it is. And like I say, go find me all over my social media.